Hey guys, it's Alex. Welcome back to CollectioNeo and Statue Forum, and we're still in lockdown and we are still doing reviews. Now, if you've probably noticed over the last few reviews, we're getting back into a bit of 1/6 scale, primarily DC and Marvel. So I wanted to try and pick up something a little different that I hadn't really seen before, or not really seen much online about it either. This is and also I wanted a modern looking Captain America. So this is the HX Project Captain America. Now the HX Project is actually a joint collaboration between XM Studios and HMO. So this is technically my first HMO piece. This is of course 1/6 scale, and it's a modern Cap. It's a take on modern Cap. Now between myself and my friend Wayne, we've kind of found that this costume was used in Jonathan Hicks's Avengers run, which was quite a few years back. I didn't really enjoy that run. I remember reading it. I think it led into Infinity. It wasn't great in my opinion, but Jonathan Hicks did do fantastic work on the Fantastic Four. But that's the only place we can really find this costume being used. Now, I say I wanted a modern Captain America. Why? Well, there's a couple of things I hate about Cap. I mean, Captain America, I think a lot of people, everyone likes Cap. I don't think anyone was like a main character, loving Cap. He wasn't anyone's favourite. He's a bit... I suppose people love Superman, but he's a bit Superman. He's a bit Boy Scoutish. He's not the most interesting character. Now, I say all that, but then the movies have probably made him one of my favourite characters, especially on screen. Movie Cap is absolutely fantastic, and to the point where he got an end game, it's just like an incredibly well written and well done journey for the character. And to be honest, I'm going to miss him. Once the phase, well, the next, it's not even is it another phase? Is it stage 2? But anyway, so I wanted a modern Cap because there's a couple of things that I didn't like. It's the floppy boots, which I hate on Cap, one of the big turnovers, and the wings. And as you can see, this statue has neither of them. Also, I wanted something in a good action pose, which obviously you can see this is in. And not too big, not something, that's going to take up a lot of room. So what we're going to do, guys, is I'm going to get in close, and then we'll go over the base and go on from there. Now, just before we go over the base, guys, this is actually limited to 500, and the price, I think these are priced about $250 to $350, a bit more for the Hulk. And this line also, which I forgot to mention, is supposed to be quite stylised, which I'll kind of get into a bit when we get into his face. And the line is now over, sadly. I'm guessing it was poor sales, but HMO and XM decided not to continue. Obviously, XM now are doing 1/6 DC with their Rebirth line, and HMO are not doing any 1/6 as far as I know. I've actually got a HMO piece coming in, hopefully, so once that materialises, you'll see the video on here. But yeah, I think it could have gone deep. I would have liked to have seen them gone into other characters. Now in the line, you did get Hulk, you got Iron Man, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Thor, Loki, and I think that's it. And I think Red Skull was shown, a proper render of him, but he was never produced. So, not a pretty full Avengers lineup, to be fair. But like I say, a lot of them are really, really stylised, cartoon-like, animated-like. But I think Cap kind of gets away with it. Like I say, we'll go over that more when we get to the face. The base is your basic rock with a bit of piping. We've got tubing. It's nice. It's really well painted, actually. Lots of different shading going on. I love the fact that they've just added the red on the pipes here. It just breaks it up. Lots of wear. Good metallics on the grating. And again, got this red pipe around the side. Let's get a little bit closer. And like I say, it's not a massive footprint. The base is probably only 6-7 inches, and then about 5 inches wide. And the statue stands around about 14 inches. But yeah, it doesn't take up a lot of space, but it does look great. Now let's get onto these boots. Like I say, floppy boots on cap really don't work for me. I think these are a bit futuristic. I would have preferred something laced up, but I like what they've done. I do like the look of it and the overall look of Cap himself. And you can obviously see, like, as we move up the leg here, you can see like the stitch lines in the costume. Actually feels a bit sideshowy, you know, like when Sideshow do their modern interpretations of costumes, and they do like to show a seam line just so it looks a bit more you know, realistic, a bit more techy rather than just spandex. As you can see, they've even got the Y front in. Not sure how I feel about that, but hey, you know, everyone's got to pee. But it looks good, it's not too distracting. And as we go around, you can see Cap's ass. It's definitely America's ass. And then really the belt is kind of old school, especially all the pouches. I do like the pouches, but the belt buckle especially lends, and it's kind of like really old school. It's got that old school feel to it, the belt has. And then obviously the stripes coming up to the chest. The gloves are really well done. Star on the chest, and obviously we've got these grey bits here, which I wasn't too sure about when I saw it on the pictures, but I think it actually works. It breaks it up quite nice. And then the actual back of the statue. Paints, as you can see, are really clean. We've got all these seam lines going still for the cloth. Really nicely done. It's a really nice modern cap. There's no other modern caps really out there. Koto did their kind of Rebirth of Heroes version with Iron Man and Thor. It's not a great cap, it's a really weird looking cap. And Boeing did their Ultimate version, which I didn't like the head on there at all because of the giant weird eyebrows. But I think here they've got that perfect balance. No wings on the helmet. Just got the indentation, which looks great. Now the face, like I said, this is supposed to be more of an animated line. If you look at Thor and Loki especially, you can really see it in them. This I don't think is so noticeable. You know, it just looks like a Boeing, but a little bit more, you know, a little bit more going on than a Boeing in regards to the face. It's definitely a comic book look, which I love. You know, I'm not a massive fan of movie versions apart from Iron Man, really. But I mean, that's what's held me back really from buying a Captain America movie piece. As much as I love Cap in the movies, his costumes have never been great in any of the movies, to be fair. But this looks great, and like I say, the animated look isn't really there. I don't see it at all on Cap. A lot more on Thor and Loki, which I do want to pick them both up, especially Loki, because there's no 1/6 Lokis about. But yeah, the face is really well done. And then obviously we've got the shield at the back here. Now this is a separate piece, if I can remember where it pops out. I think it's just on a magnet. That's a strong ass magnet, guys. That was literally just on a magnet, but it was really powerful. Now I've got a few marks on my shield. I don't know if you can see them. I don't know if that's intentional or not. It feels like a bit of paint bumps, and they have gone for a matte paint. I've got a bit of line issue there, but or is that polystyrene? It's polystyrene. But no, the paints are really good on the shield, clean. I just think that's a bit where it's been sat in storage. But overall, really nice. It's nice to see a matte finish on the shield actually, rather than a shiny shield. And this guy just slots back on that super strong magnet. There's actually lines indented in the arm here, so it'll only go on one way. There we go, straight in. But yeah, it's a really nice cap, and it's a great option if you want a 1/6 Captain America. It won't scale with Bowie. He's big. 1/6 compared to 1/7 is quite a difference, as I've said before. But I think if you're looking for a Captain America to go in with other 1/6 statues, whether it's custom or Kota Bakia, I don't and especially if you want a modern cap, I don't think it gets much better than this guy. I really don't. Really dynamic, paints are great, and you can pick it up really cheap. I paid £250 delivered, and it came in quite a small box, but it's the usual XM standard, you know, the really thick plastic with the straps and all that. No different than a large XM premium statue. It's still exactly the same, which you've got to love and appreciate. The art box is great on it. No extras, no exclusive or anything on this, but yeah, packaging is usual XM standards if anyone's had an XM piece before. But check out the line, and you know, it's interesting to go into why these lines kind of failed and why they didn't do any more. I don't know if it was a financial thing or whether they just did the Avengers and that was it. But obviously Red Skull was completed. You can find completed renders, but obviously never released. So I don't know if, I'm guessing the rest of the line just didn't sell right. I really want to pick up the Hulk. When it comes to Hulk, I'm a Hulk face guy. You know, the face is everything. It's win or lose, and I really like the XM one, the HX one, I should say. So I'm going to try and pick it up because that as well is pretty cheap. All of them seem to be pretty cheap, and I think as a lineup they look pretty great. So I'm going to keep my eyes out, guys, and hopefully you'll see a few more on the channel. So there we go, guys. There's another one done. Captain America 1/6 from the HX project. That's HMO and XM Studios. A great modern cap in 1/6 scale. Plenty more to come, guys, so stick around, and we'll see you next video. Bye.